Hello all, welcome to Global Degrees new podcast. So we have Dr. Harshaddeep Singh Madan, Director of ETS India. So let us clear some myths about GRE and TOEFL exams today. Hello sir. TOEFL is considered tough when compared to other English examinations according to students. So what is your perception on it?
So I'll share what is the reality, right? As you have rightly said, students have this perception that TOEFL is tougher, but the reality is TOEFL is not a tough test, right? All the English language tests check students on the four skills of language, which is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The way they test it can be different, the approaches can be different. What probably makes student consider TOEFL tough is that they have not experienced TOEFL. Last year in 2023, the TOEFL was reduced from a 3-hour test to a 1 hour 56-minute test, which makes it one of the most convenient English proficiency tests. It's a single set test. Ideally, if you really ask me, if you have experienced TOEFL, if you have studied in an English medium school, if you have got the basic knowledge of language, any English proficiency test would be as easy as what TOEFL would be. So to me, this is just a perception, lack of awareness, and to ensure that we are able to cover this lack of awareness, we are also offering a 40-minute sampler free of cost to all the students through our website, which is TOEFL Test Ready.
Oh, wow.
So in case the student feels that we are a tough test, my only thing is experience us first. Don't go by what people say. Either they have taken TOEFL test in the past, which is almost 4 to 5 years back, or they have not taken TOEFL themselves. It's just a hearsay. So what I would rather say is don't go on what people say, experience it yourself. I would still say we are a convenient, a more reliable, and a more relevant test when it comes to those students who are considering taking this test to study abroad.
Is TOEFL only for years here?
Yeah, so that's another misconception which is there. Why we are largely related to US, and actually, if you really ask me as the director of business development for TOEFL, I take it as pride that we are associated to a country like US. We are headquartered in US, and that's why people associate us, our test to US only. But if you really ask me, the reality is we are the most widely accepted English proficiency test. We are accepted in 160 plus countries in 13,000 institutes worldwide. If I have to put some facts in place, we have a 100% acceptance in US, we have a 100% acceptance in Canada, we have a 100% acceptance in UK, we have a 100% acceptance in Ireland, including immigration. We have a 100% acceptance in Australia and New Zealand, including immigration, and we are the most preferred test for Germany and France for any English speaking course. The thing is, TOEFL is accepted in 1,500 plus more institutes than the most popular test in India. Right? So it's a myth that we are associated only to US. If I have to put it in words, I would say take TOEFL and go anywhere.
So we have two most popular English examinations. One is IELTS and the other one is TOEFL. So why one should prefer TOEFL exam?
Yeah. So as a policy, we do not desell our competition. I think every competition has a role to play in the market. It only makes this domain more exciting. At the same time, it is always also for the good of the test takers. But if I have to say why you should prefer TOEFL, I'll not answer this question. Rather, let's do a small role play. All right. I'll ask you a few questions. You tell me what would you prefer as a student, right? So, what kind of a test would you prefer? Would you take a test which is less than 2 hours, finishes in one set, or would you take a 3-hour test which can be done in one set or can take even 2 days where you have to travel to the test center? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer less than 2 hours.
Fair enough. All the English proficiency tests, as I said, checks you on 4 skills of language: listening, speaking, reading, writing. Let's talk about reading first. TOEFL in reading has 2 passages, 20 questions, 10 from each of the passage, and we give you 36 minutes to answer those questions. Then there is another test, which you said has 4 passages, 42 questions, which you have to answer in 1 hour. Which one would you prefer?
The first one.
Okay. One of these tests also gives you a kind of a direction. So, for example, question 1 is from paragraph 1. So, you have to skim only those 5 words of reading so that you can answer that question. In the other test, you have to skim through the whole passage again and again. Which one would you prefer as a student?
Definitely the first one.
Fair enough. All tests checks your speaking skills as well, right? Both the tests are almost identical. They are all for 17 minutes, but that's where the whole similarity gets over. What are you more comfortable with, speaking to a human or to a computer?
Definitely to human.
Fair enough. But when you speak to a human in a testing scenario, are you sure that human will be bias free every time he scores you? What if he had a bad start to the day? Will it reflect on your score?
Definitely.
It will.
Yes.
So that means you are saying human is not bias free at all the times. But what if I tell you there is another test which has an AI scoring as well as human scorings, that too 4 humans scoring the same way without knowing who the other person is, not knowing your name? Which one would you prefer? The AI plus human? Fair enough. Let's talk about the structure of the speaking section. When you speak to a human in one of the tests, you have to pull up a card and then you have to speak about it. There can be cross questioning. The examiner is free to cross question you. On the other test, it's for 16 minutes. There are 4 questions. For 3 of the questions, there are some reading material and listening material to give you some hints, to give you some idea. You are given 30 seconds to prepare for each of the answer and you are asked to speak for 1 minute. If you are able to answer the questions in less than 1 minute, there is no negative marking. Which one would you prefer? To speak for 4 minutes in 16 minutes or to speak for 16 minutes and being cross questioned?
No, first one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That is 4 minutes when you speak. Fair enough. But what if you have to do that with a computer and not with a human? Will you still be comfortable? Yeah? So let's go to writing skills. Both tests have 2 writing questions. One writing question for one of the tests is for 20 minutes. I'll give you some things to read, some things to listen, and then you are supposed to write an answer in 200 words in 20 minutes. The second question is an academic discussion. That is what you will experience when you end up in the show. You get to read, you get to listen, and then you have to answer in almost 100 words. That is about 300 words in 29 minutes. In the other test, you have to write almost 300 words for each of the question. That's about a 600 words in 1 hour. Which one would you prefer?
The first one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ma'am, whatever you have preferred is a TOEFL actually. If you still feel TOEFL is difficult, I have nothing else to say. I'll just repeat myself. We are the most convenient, one of the fastest, and at the same time, a gold standard. One test opens your door virtually to 13,000 institutes globally. And whether it is US, Canada, Germany, France, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. I'm again repeating, take TOEFL, go anywhere.
Is TOEFL expensive when compared to other English examinations?
So, I really don't know, but this myth is amongst the students, so I would want to address it once and for all. TOEFL is competitively priced. It is not at all expensive. Rather, it is on the MRP 100 rupees lesser as compared to some other popular test. Over and above, we also run some discount structures, right? There are promo codes. Even for that matter, Global Degree has their own promo code. And if the student uses that promo code, they can get a 1500 rupees discount. That means the price would come down to 15,400 rupees. Global Degree also uses vouchers to register for the test. In case a student is looking for higher discounts, I would say please approach Global Degrees and look at what best discounts you can get. To answer it in short, we are not expensive at all. It's just a myth. That's what happens in a market. But we are not expensive at all.
When GRE is optional, so why one should prefer GRE?
Yeah, so thank you for bringing in a question on GRE. And GRE, as you know, is one of, I would rather say, the most comprehensive high skill assessment. Unfortunately, GRE has been considered only as a gatekeeping exam. But GRE adds a value which is a lot more than just seeking admission. GRE opens a lot of opportunities for you to get scholarships, right? Optional, rather first I would say does not mean waiver. Optional means if you don't have it, the institute will still consider. But if you have it, it does give you some advantage, right? If no advantage even, it just helps you or helps the admission, person to differentiate or rate you accordingly, right? If you have a good score in GRE, let's say 315 or 320 plus, you can get even relaxation on interest rate. Almost 70% of the students opt for taking loans when they opt to study abroad. Imagine if you get a relaxation of 0.5 to 1% on the loan. That's what GRE can do for you. Many people who get a good score on GRE, many a times they get a collateral-free loan. Imagine your parents don't have to mortgage their home just because you have to study abroad. That's the advantage what GRE brings for you. Imagine spending some time to study, 22,500 rupees to take a test. Even there are discounts that you all offer. You can still take a GRE, which can open so many more doors to you. Scholarship, interest waivers, forget about that. Even GRE and TOEFL, if taken together, you get a great opportunity to apply for a teaching assistant or a research assistant job onshore in the same institute where you are studying, covering some expenses that you will have over there. You are paid for that. Which other test can make you eligible for so many things? So my only request to the students would be, don't just consider us as a gatekeeping exam. We are much more than that. It's a skill test. Tomorrow, when you have a GRE in your score and you sit in for interview for jobs, people know you have the quant skills. They know you have the verbal reasoning skills. This is a skill-based test. And hence, I would strongly recommend everybody should take a GRE. And GRE is a great differentiator when you have more than one people, opting for an opportunity.
Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you all for watching this. So we'll meet you in the next podcast.